So you're sitting here watching all these videos on the 7 best habits on how to become a millionaire, or the 3 best books to self improve, or the 7 best side hustles to start in 2023, but you're missing the key aspect, and that is you need to change. Okay? You need to understand that it's not like you just pick up on 7 habits or the morning routine of a millionaire and boom, your life changes. No, this is a combination of all these things that ultimately leads to you being able to achieve what you want, right? But it's you as a person that needs to develop. And I'll give you this example and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. I watched Hamza's video. I'll link his channel down below, and he gives out great advice. On most of the videos I've watched, always gives out really good advice. But what I'm saying, the example he gave is, he said, if I built a business, got it to $10,000 a month, managed everything, ran everything across the board, right? And I handed it off to you. The second I step away, it would come falling down. And the reason for that is because you have not developed and became that person that you need to become in order to manage and run something of that size, right? You would not be able to grow or even manage that because you haven't developed. And that's why you haven't achieved what you want to achieve. So you need to understand that it's accumulation of you changing entirely as a person. Now, take for example, I love sales because it's a very, self-development based business, basically, where you get paid based on how much you're able to convert, how many deals you're able to get done, and pretty much just on your performance. So I got interviewed at one of the globally most known car manufacturers in the world, at BMW, and I ended up getting the job. Now, when I went in for an interview, guys, they don't ask you, Brandon, what kind of sales tactics are you going to use and this and that? No, they interview you for you, right? They look at you. They look at your appearance. They look at your history of being able to convert, the experience you have. Maybe you're brand new. They look at you as a person and as a whole rather than just one aspect. Okay, how do you carry yourself? How do you speak? All of these things that eventually lead to you being able to achieve what you want. Now, that I've given you this information, you're probably wondering, okay, how do I change this? Right? Guys, you know what needs to get done, but yet you still go looking for answers in all these videos. Like you're watching, the 7 habits of a millionaire or the morning routine of a millionaire, but you kind of already know what that looks like, bro. Like they just get to work. They get the work done. Everything else doesn't matter, right? You don't get rich by shouting affirmations. You get rich by getting work done, right? You need to start working on high ROI activities. Now, what does that mean? Start a business, for example, right? You could be doing hours of product research and 30 minutes of actually taking action into the business. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? I like to say you learn as you go. Yes, try to prepare, but you need to take your attention and focus it on the activities that are actually going to bring you a return, right? And this doesn't have to be a monetary value. This can be anything, right? If it's self-development, if it's going to the gym, which kind of ties into that, anything. So specifically what I've seen in most people, and I've said this in all my videos, is most people just haven't developed in the gym. And a lot more happens mentally than just physically. Now, I'll throw up a picture of what I look like before here and what I look like now. And you see a lot of external change. But nobody that I know can understand the mental change that I went through simply because I don't express myself to too many people, right? And this is something you have to go through, and you will develop and understand what happens in your mind as you start to progress, as your body starts to change. Not just in the gym, in the business, as you start to read books, as you start to do all these things, right? To pick up on the habits. As I mentioned, right? It's an accumulation of all these things coming together. Think about it almost as a gearbox, right? You can have one gear and it can be turning by itself, but the whole thing won't work unless all gears are turning. And you are trying to take one of these gears and become successful when it's all of them working together that turn each other. And that is what makes you a whole, which will help you achieve what you want, right? Now, the other thing you need to understand with the advice that I'm giving here is that I'm giving you advice based on what I want to achieve and in my journey of what I've learned. And I want to achieve very high levels of success. Like, I want to be exceptional in everything that I do. And so this advice is specifically for young men that are ambitious, that know they have the potential, that want to unlock everything that they see and hear. Right? I'm not giving you advice on how to be the average man. Like, yes, these principles can help you be an exceptional average man, right? And a man of honor, integrity, and all these things. But at the same time, this is advice for those that see themselves very, very high and successful. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, but I think you understand what I'm saying when I mean this advice is specifically for high achievers. Obviously, you need to have an ego when you do all of this, right? Because ego is one of those things that kind of breeds success because you're competitive. You think you're the best, right? But you need to also be in a self-realization state where you understand where you're at, what you're missing, who you can learn from, taking advice from certain people, not thinking you're the best all the time, things along those lines. Hopefully you took something from this video and understand that you need to develop as a person in order to achieve what you want, right? It's the kind of person you need to become to achieve your dreams, and not just one thing you need to learn to achieve your dreams. Now, maybe that one thing that you're trying to learn is the one thing you're missing from your gearbox, but it's an accumulation of everything and not just one as a whole. Now, hopefully you guys took something informational from this video. I love you guys. Get to work as always. I'll see you in the next one. Comment any suggestions, any questions you have below, or hit me up on my Instagram. And I'll see you on the next one.